Hey, welcome back to the channel. I'm Moedotj, and this is the recap for episode 8 of The Shy. But before we get started, I had a few people hit me up and ask me would I convert these audios and put them on to like Spotify or Apple Music and pretty much just put the series together where they can just listen to it consistently. And my thing is, if enough people say they'll listen to it, then I'll definitely do it. Because, hey, I want y'all to hear what I'm talking about and go over the show. So comment below if you would like to listen to something like that. But before we jump into it, shout out to the notification gang. Hey, all you guys are making it happen. If you're new to the channel, you like my content, please subscribe, turn on your notification bell so you get something every time I drop. So I'm not gonna hold you up anymore. This is episode 8 of The Shy. It's Keisha's first day back. She gets to finally come home, be relaxed. But it doesn't go like that. Once Dre and Nina show her room, they're like, hey, we clean up the room a little bit, but it should be just how you left it. And Dre's like, well, if there's anything out of place, I kind of packed up a few things, but it wasn't nothing like that. I just packed up a few things. And if we know, Dre and Nina have been having conflict of interest. Like, Nina wants to take things slow, and Dre's pushing things to try to make things better. She's not doing it in a bad way. She just wants to, hey, we gotta, we gotta stay focused and keep moving forward. So Kiesha doesn't say much, so she kicks them out the room. And what she does immediately after that is she locks the door, put a chair up under the doorknob. She makes sure that the windows are locked, closes the blinds. She grabs a pair of scissors. She doesn't sit on the bed because she's traumatized at this point. So if you remember, she always had to sit on the floor whenever the guy came down into the basement. So she grabs a pair of scissors. This is pretty much her safety here. This is going to protect me if anyone comes back. She doesn't know if anyone's thinking about coming to get her since she escaped or if there's anyone else with it. All she knows is, hey, I got to make sure that I'm locked and I'm safe in my room. That's just being traumatized, man. Anytime something like that significant happens in your life, it's gonna be real tough to recover from that. Nina tells Kiesha when they leave that night, like, hey, you can stay in here. I'm gonna be laying in the couch. I'm not gonna leave at all, so I'll be here. The next morning, Kiesha gets up and she puts a robe on. She goes to the bathroom. Kev's in there. They kick Kev out the bathroom. Kev's like, come on, man. So Kev is pretty much sitting there trying to tell his parents, like, hey, Keisha's back. I want to continue to live my life. I want to go hang with Papa and Jake. And they're like, nah, we just got Kiesha back. So now they're overprotective and they're like, hey, Kev, you can't go out. You know what I'm saying? We just almost lost Kiesha. We want you to stay here. So just stay in the house. And Kev is a young grown boy. He's like, man, I want to go out. We got her back. She's safe now. Let me go live my life. And the whole time they're just arguing and Keisha's listening to the whole thing. The reason Kiesha has this robe on when she goes to the bathroom is because she doesn't want anyone to see her body, because it turns out she has a lot of bruises all over her body from the incident. And she doesn't want anyone to talk to her about it, and she doesn't want to talk about it because at this point she's vulnerable. And when anything happens like this, you just like, man, I don't want to discuss it. I already have to look at these wounds myself. I don't want to have to talk to you about what happened. So Kiesha, she's in the room just crying because hey, I can only imagine, man. Dre's still trying to convince Nina, hey, let's take Kiesha to get some therapy or something. She's gonna have to talk about this. She can't keep it cooped up. And Nina's like, nah, let's just take some time. And Dre's just trying to figure out how to make things right. So what she does is she invites over Tammy, Keisha's friend, and Nina's like, why would you do that? And Dre explains, like, hey, we need someone outside of us that she can talk to, one of her friends. Because you tell your friends sometimes, especially when you're younger, you tell them more than what you would tell your parents. So I can see where Dre's coming from. Tammy goes into the room with Kiesha and they immediately slam the door, like, so they can talk. And Keisha's like, man, I want to know what's been going on. I've been seeing online that there's a whole bunch of different rumors about what happened to me, and none of them are fact. What have you actually heard in the streets? So Tammy, instead of talking about what's going on with Kiesha, she starts ranting about her and her boyfriend breaking up. And Keisha's like, no, I want to know about me. So one of the rumors is Kiesha was messing with Amari. He was her side piece, and she wanted to stop messing with him. That's when he kidnapped her. And then they're like, I know you wouldn't have cheated on your dude. And it's just all kinds of dumb stuff that kids come up with rumors. So then it turns out that Kiesha actually killed Amari. She looked it up. The report was online that he was dead and everything. And it was traumatizing, but she needed to do it. So she had every right for that. But then she questions Tammy like, man, you're supposed to be my girl. Why would you tell the news that I was out in these streets like that? And Tammy, her excuse was, oh, well, my period has started. I was emotional and I didn't want to lie. Like, Kiesha wasn't hearing that. Hey, you gotta get up out of here. So she takes Tammy to the front door and kicks her out and goes back to her house. Tammy is the worst friend that you can have. Like, I can't even explain it, man. Like, what she told the news was all the way incorrect, and it just made Kiesha look bad. Like I was saying earlier, Kev is trying to live the teenage life. This is a teenage boy. He's growing. He's active. So he compromises with Nina. Like, hey, mom, look, if I can't leave, can Jake and Papa they come through? She like, yeah, okay, they can come over. Turns out they already at the front door, so they were pretty much waiting, like, hey, for Kev to be like, hey, come on in. So they come in. We all know Papa is always happy, so he's, God bless this family. It's good to see all of us back together. We all love Papa, so they like, all right, hey, you know what I'm saying? How's it going, Papa? They go into the room. They give Kev a vape pen. You know what I'm saying? They about to get high in the room. And Papa out of everybody, he's like, well, you know what, guys? We really shouldn't be doing this because the government, they do things to kind of mess us over. And everyone's like, yeah, Papa, whatever. We trying to get high, play this game, and chill. Miss Jada and Emmett, they pull up to the house, and they bring some food because at this point, we want to make sure that the family is good. You know what I'm saying? You guys take care of yourselves. We'll bring food to help out. So that's just one less thing you guys have to worry about. So while they're there, Dre and Nina, they're talking to Jada about like, hey, have you ever had a study like this? Been involved with a girl that was sexually traumatized? And she's like, no, but I read about it. And the best thing to do is, get people to talk about it. So Jada starts talking to Dre and it's like, hey man, I know things is tough with your marriage, but if you guys can make it through this, then everything is going to be all right. And Dre's like, man, I'm trying to do everything I can to get Nina to understand that once I married you, your kids became our kids. So I'm trying to do the best that's for them also. I'm just trying to help. And Jada's like, man, it's going to take time, but if you guys can make it through this, you guys can make it through anything. And Dre's just like, you know what? You're right. I just wish one of my straight friends would have told me that marriage was so hard. So disclaimer, everybody, marriage is gonna be tough, but you're gonna have to stick through it and try to make it work, man. Hey, you're gonna have to figure it out and make it happen. While the crew is in the room, hey, smoking, playing the game, Jake is like, man, I'm glad Keisha's home, man, because it wasn't looking too good in these streets for her. And everybody's like, yeah, man, I'm glad she's home and safe. But then Jake brings up Jemma, and we all know that his brother's like, man, you like Jemma. So he brings up, hey man, I heard rich girls, they some freaks. How you hit yet? And Kev's like, man, don't worry about what we did, man. And he was like, nah, you ain't hit. And then of course Papa chimes in like, man, you know what? It's nothing wrong with taking your time and letting your woman lead, man. That's what you gotta do sometimes. So Papa's in love, and we know that Kev is really feeling Jemma. And we don't really know about Jake yet. Like, is he really like Jemma? Or he hates her because she's taking his best friend away from him. He doesn't want to be by himself. But they just talking about a whole bunch of stuff in there. Then they also bring up, saying, Jake telling Kev, like, man, you acting like those white people the way you talking, man. And Papa, he lays down, he's like, you know what, guys? I really don't have that many white friends. And Jake said, you know what? You're not really missing out on nothing. Like, man, they're just white people. We all know Emmett and Keisha, they had a past. So when he's at the house, he actually goes in there and he sits down and talks to her. And he's like, man, I'm just going to be here for a second. I just want to make sure you're straight and I want to give you your space and everything. And Keisha's like, nah, you can go ahead and stay. And Emmett just starts telling him, like, hey, man, I was going hard for you, man. I'm glad you're back. I was putting out flyers. I was doing everything I could to help try to find you. And Keisha's like, yeah, thank you for that, man. I heard. And something just isn't sitting right. Like your demeanor, it seems like you're lying about something. And then this is where Emmett comes out and tells that, hey, I cheated on Tiffany with a girl named Dom, the lady that cooks with me. So Keisha's like, dang, you really in a lose-lose situation because you're getting involved in, in a relationship with a woman that you work with when you have your girl. And he's like, yeah, man, I know, man, I messed up. I don't know what to do. And Keisha's telling him, hey, it's a lose-lose. But Emma's just like, I don't know what to do, man. I wish me and you were still dating because if we were dating, I probably could have prevented this from happening. And Keisha makes a valid point, like, no, if we were dating, you would be cheating on me with Dom. So they start laughing. And my whole thing about this is, this fool Emmett has his shoes on in the bed where she lays her head. Like, hey, man, if you don't get your shoes up out my bed, I know I'm going through something, but I still got to sleep here. But anyway, they just, you know what I'm saying, they just reminiscing at this point and everything's good. He explains to her that I'm taking over from Sonny's because I've been making a lot of money slinging this barbecue. Now, the boys are in the room getting high, and Papa's paranoid at this point. He's saying, I hear people calling me, like, man, someone's, they calling me, and they're like, nah, just chill out, Papa, you just high, man, and paranoid. But what Papa explains is, hey, man, I've been getting tip money from the guy that kidnapped your sister, and I can't accept this money. So the boys, they got the munchies now at this point, and they're just like, dang, Papa. So they come out the room, and everyone's in there eating. Kiesha had made a joke about Emmett, like, man, I know you brought some food. I hope it ain't bad like the food that you brought in episode 1 to the to the wedding. No one wants that. So she eats the food. She's like, okay, it's good. Everyone comes out. They all start eating. And out of nowhere, Papa's high self pulls money out of his pocket and puts it on the table and tells Kiesha, hey, I feel bad. Here's the money from the guy that kidnapped you. I don't want the money. And Keisha's like, why would I want the money of a guy that kidnapped me? And at this point, everyone's looking at Papa like, man, what is wrong with you? Kiesha gets mad. Kev gets mad. Kev goes to his room. Kiesha gets up and goes to her room. And everyone else is like, hey, man, I think it's time we leave. Papa, you kind of messed up this environment, brother. Everyone starts leaving. Kev in his room mad with his AirPods in. And Dre and Nina trying to tell him, look, you got to chill out till things get back to normal. And he wants things to happen like instantly. And they're like, man, it might take some time. Miss Jada actually goes in and talks to Kiesha. And she's telling her, like, what you're going through, people have been through, and you're going to make it through it. You just got to be strong, and you got to see your way to the end. Now, I don't have too much, you know what I'm saying, too much experience in this area, but I know people that do. And what I always told myself when I was growing up is I didn't have anyone that I could talk to. So my job now is, I always said, if anyone else went through this type of situation, I would be able to talk to them and help them through it. So Miss Jada is telling Kiesha, like, yeah, this is hard times, but you gotta talk about it. If you don't talk about it, it's gonna just stay in. It's gonna be anger, it's gonna be sadness, it's gonna be everything until you get it out there and talk to people that actually want to help you. So hopefully Kiesha takes this advice from Miss Jada and either stays in contact with her or sees someone else outside of your family, because you always need an outsider to look in and tell you what they see. Because if it's everyone in the house, they're just gonna just cuddle to you and just, okay, it'll be all right. But you need someone that's actually gonna give you those steps. And I think Miss Jada is gonna actually be the one that stays with Kiesha and stays on her and gives her more and more pointers about what she can do to make herself feel better. Kiesha ends up calling Ronnie over just to talk to him, because he's the guy that, you know, helped find her and actually saved her. So they start having a conversation, and she just asks him, how does he feel about all this? And he's telling her, like, man, when you kill somebody, you're going to think about it every day. I killed someone, and there's not one day that goes by that I don't think about the person that I killed. And he's trying to tell Kiesha that because she killed her kidnapper. But both of them, they had to do that to survive. And he's pretty much telling her, like, things are going to happen, but that's the city of Chicago, man. It just keeps you here. And it's hard to think about, but it just keeps you here, man. The city's not letting you leave. And Keisha's like, she's connected to Ronnie now just for the simple fact that he saved her. So for her, this is kind of like her guardian angel. Even if he is homeless, this is still the guy that saved your life. Ever since Keisha's been back, things just haven't been going how she wanted them to go. So at this point, she's like, she wants to leave the city and then go to college, be far away from Chicago. And Nina's like, man, they gave your scholarship away. So at this point, she's breaking down, tearing stuff off her wall, all her track trophies, everything she's getting rid of. She goes through her clothes and she starts getting rid of clothes, like she had a leopard print bra. So anything that's like revealing or like sexual, she takes it all to the bathroom and she catches it on fire. And Nina sees it and it's like, hey man, look, the way you dress doesn't give anyone the right to touch you, kidnap you, do anything wrong to you. So wear what you want to wear, be you, man. Like, it's just weirdos out here that doesn't give them the right to degrade you, do anything to you. And she's trying to tell her, like, you wearing these clothes didn't make a difference. That's who you are. Be you. It's just, we got to look out for the people that are out here. So Kiesha, she's just really going through it. Like, I lost my scholarship. I'm stuck here. Oh man, like, Can it get any worse? They finally convinced Kiesha to come out and go to therapy. So this is her first time out of the house since she's been free. And for her, she put on baggy clothes, a hat. She doesn't want anyone to notice her when she leaves to go, saying to her therapy. Just because she doesn't want to hear what anyone has to say. And she's still kind of frightened to be out in these streets. So she doesn't want anyone to know that, oh, that's Kiesha over there, make any big scenes, no loud noises, none of that. PTSD comes in all kinds of forms. Whether you're in war or you in your own home, like you can get PTSD, and Keisha's actually going through that. But the good thing is, she actually agreed to go to therapy. Now I don't know if she's gonna go to therapy or what's gonna happen next week. My assumption is she goes, but it's gonna be tough. Let me know what you think below. Hey, that's episode 8 of The Shy. It's a pretty good one, but it was all just focused in the house and on Kiesha. So it was pretty much Keisha based. Let's figure out what we can do to help Kiesha. Comment below, what do you think? Do you think she's actually going to go to therapy next week? Let me know, because I think she's going to go, and it's going to be a little bit tough. But hey, thanks for watching, man. That's episode 8 of The Shy. I'll be here next week for episode 9. And also, I want to know, do you want me to put stuff on Spotify and Apple Music or any of the big streaming services? Because I'll definitely do it. But hey, thanks for watching. Every subscriber counts. We on that grind of 3,000 subscribers. Thanks for watching. I'm Moedotj.
Jemma on the beat, boy.